In this chapter, again, we're going through capital budgeting. And the first few problems we're working here, these are kind of introductory problems to the various capital budgeting techniques. And the next one we're going to look at now, this is called the modified internal rate of return. And the advantage of this return over the traditional rate of return is that you get to define your reinvestment rate. Internal rate of return, your traditional internal rate of return, remember, assumes two things. One, that you reinvest all cash flows, and two, that you reinvest those cash flows to earn the internal rate of return. Sometimes that's possible. More often than not, it's not. And so that's not the rate of return that you want to give to a client or a boss. The rate of return as a financial manager that you'd like to pass along is called the modified internal rate of return. And you'll see here when we go through this problem where it is we get to define the reinvestment rate. Now this problem reads like this. It says Project K costs $52,125. Its expected cash inflows are $12,000 per year for 8 years, and the weighted average cost of capital is 12%. What is the project's modified internal rate of return? Now, modified internal rate of return is defined as the terminal value of the project divided by the beginning value, raised to the 1 over n minus 1. Now, terminal value. Now, the terminal value of a project is the cumulative future value of all the cash inflows. Terminal value, the cumulative future value of all the cash inflows. The beginning value, the denominator here, this is the initial investment, the present value of the outflows. Now, initially, you probably wouldn't know this number. We're going to show you how to calculate this in a moment, so let's just pretend you don't know this number. But we do know the cost of the project. It's $52,125. It's got an 8-year life. That's what N is. And we're going to subtract 1 from that. Now, to get this number, this terminal value, you have to find the future value of all the cash inflows. This problem, the cash inflows, is an annuity of $12,000 received every year for 8 years. How do you find the future value of an annuity? Well, you multiply by your FVIFA, with N equal to 8 in this case. That's how many $12,000 payments you get. Now, this thing right here, this is where you define your reinvestment rate. And this should be the return that you think you can actually earn on the money. Now, in this textbook, your authors make the case that this should always be the firm's cost of capital, which they give us as 12%. I'm telling you that in practice, this number should be whatever it is you think you can earn on the reinvested money. Now, we're going to go ahead with the textbook because that's our textbook. So we're going to put the cost of capital in here, which is 12%. And if you look up your FVIFA at 8 and 12%, you find 12.30. Multiply that by 12,000, you find the terminal value of the project, the cumulative future value of all the cash inflows to be $147,600. And that's where you get this number right here. That's how that number comes about. Calculate the modified internal rate of return, you get 0.1390 or 13.90%.